Okay, you guys, I am about to go into Trillium ink and have my scalp micropigmentation done. It's going to be one of 2 or 3 sessions, but as you can see, I'm taking off my hat. I have no hair. I've got lots of scars, and it looks kind of like I've got a little mohawk going on here with a little hyperpigmentation there. But yeah, I'm doing this because I think that I'll look and feel a lot better than I do now. I'm not sick. I have well, I have adrenal fatigue, but it's under control, and that is kind of what started all of this. So I lost my hair about 1.5 years ago, and it hasn't come back. My doctor said that she thinks it can come back in about another year, but in the meantime, I don't feel comfortable walking around without a hat on. So I'm wanting to have the micro scalp pigmentation done so that it'll give the look that I've shaved my head. So that way people won't look at me quite so differently, because I get asked a lot if I'm going through chemotherapy, or people just make that assumption in conversation. So here I go, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Talk to you soon. It's more tender for me up on the top and on the side.
Hairline?
There. Yeah.
The temples?
Yeah, more the temples.
So we're just getting the first pass in,
And you said, so you lost it about 1 year ago, is that right?
Yeah, it was 1 year ago in May.
But they do anticipate your hair, they think you may grow back once the medical
hoping.
condition is...
Yeah, but she's told me so many times, oh, it should be coming back in such and such a time, and nothing's happened, so.
Time to take it into your own hands.
Well, and you know what? We'll hope for that, and it'll just look thicker and fuller with this as a base. And if every single bit of it grows back, well, nobody'd know the difference.
Exactly.
It's a nice thing about this. So, Pam, talk a little bit about, the difference of doing a female's head with regard to hairline and the sideburns and that. How do you build that differently than you would on a male?
Well, if you look really closely, it's what we were talking about when we were building hers. If you look really closely, a female hairline is considerably different than a male hairline. I mean, males tend to have a natural recession. When they're younger, they're farther down in the corners. It just seems like females, their hairline is shaped totally different. It's much softer. It's much more feminine. Not as hard. We're talking about at the neckline as well, and around the ears. You'll find that it's just a softer in patterning, and it's just like taking a look at female hairlines, take a look at male hairlines. You've got to be able to replicate what they're going to look like. Some clients can remember what theirs look like, or they have pictures that we can refer to, but not many people have a picture of themselves with their hair pulled back. Some women do if they get something, coming from yoga or working out, but a lot of women don't have any way to reference back. And so we're going by their natural lines. Like with her, I was trying to find, you can see a difference in the skin when I have her razor eyebrows or things like that. And that's part of my guide, because I'm just working from what her skin and the shape of her head, is telling me. No different than designing brows. There's not one set of eyebrows for everybody. There's not one hairline for everybody. We were discussing the hairline in the back, and as we get down the neckline, some people's hairline is more straight across. Women's hairline seems to be a little bit narrower than men's. Sometimes they're more M-shaped or W-shaped or squared off. I mean, it's not that she couldn't pick what she wants, but we want to make sure that if the hair grows back in, I'm taking a really close look at the follicles, the empty follicles, to get an idea for where her real hairline is, so that if her hair does grow back, we want it to be natural.
Nice. And no pain in this, because, it clearly is red from...
Yeah, it's really red. And she's really fair. Her skin is very fair. So, of course, she's going to look a little bit more red than some.
Pain level, though, for you?
Oh, it's very tolerable.
There was a
Because-
couple of dicey moments there on
Yeah.
those little temples, you know, like
Yeah.
her sideburns are a little sensitive. They are on
Sure.
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's been a trooper.
So you'll do a full first pass.
Full first pass today. Yep, we've got
Wow.
everything done. We're working down the back
Lot of
now,
work.
so we've been at it for a while.
Look at
Taking a
great.
couple of breaks, had a sandwich, and you know, you get up. Everybody had to get up and stretch their bones. Your butt gets a little tired, or whatever body part you're sitting on for so long.
So tell us a little bit about how you found the procedure and found Pam.
Well, a friend of mine, she told me that she was taking this class to do it. She took one, it wasn't with Pam, and she wanted to use me as a guinea pig. And I wasn't very comfortable with that. I wanted someone with experience. So she's probably going to be a little PO'd at me. But
Alopecia client is not one. A full head for alopecia is not for a beginner to take on. That's for
Right.
sure.
so I started doing some research, and I'm an esthetician as well.
Okay.
So actually, some of the sponsored advertisement on Facebook has popped up for me. So I've seen that, and then I just started doing some research on different people, and Pam kept coming up. So that's why I chose Pam.
Nice.
Yeah.
You felt pretty confident that first consultation about what to expect. Does that seem to be
Yeah.
in line with how this is going for you?
Yes, and I had her do my eyeliner first, and I've had my eyeliner done by four other people before, and
Oh, wow.
hers is the best. I really, really like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And she did your brows as well.
No, she didn't
No.
do my brows.
Not yet. I'm dying to get a hold of those. We're gonna just fix her right up.
Yeah.
So you went first for the permanent cosmetics for obvious reasons, because that gives an immediate, and then just
Yeah.
decided since the hair may grow back or may not, this is a great interim, whether it does or doesn't. And
Exactly.
like Pam said, if it does, great, you just have more density.
Right. Right.
So great solution. Curious if you saw it anywhere. Are you very engaged with like the Alopecia Foundation or anything?
There's an alopecia support group that's in Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
and so I went to the group once and listened to their board. And they were talking about like injections and how those, people basically suffer from that. And different things. I had pointed out that one of the people that is in charge of it, she happens to be a hairdresser. A hairdresser without hair is kind of different, just like an
Yeah.
esthetician. We're in the beauty industry, and people look at us differently like
Sure.
that. So that was interesting. And then I just, on Facebook, I don't necessarily comment, but I look at their stuff a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You're
yeah.
a stalker like me.
Yeah.
And did was scalp micropigmentation ever a solution? Is that something Alopecia Foundation ever?
I've never seen anything on there about it. However, I did, like for the month of September, that's Alopecia month.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's alopecia month, and so they were having people rock their crowns, and so finally I saw one lady that was Caucasian, because there's not that many that I see out there that are that they have alopecia. So she went and she had posted a picture of herself, and then I sent it to Pam saying, "Hey, is this scalp micropigmentation?" And she was like, "Yeah." It was a little harsher,
A
but
little harsh around the edges, yeah, the hairline.
but
But it still look good.
yeah, and she was absolutely beautiful. So it was like,
Cute
okay.
girl.
So I just thought, okay, this is definitely it.
I can do this.
Yep.
Sweet. Well, it's looking amazing. So, Pam, on something like this, then, I know generally it's 2 passes and
2
then
to 3.
a touch up.
Yeah.
So, what are you looking at? Is this the same process for a full?
Well, she's such a trooper, and we're rocking out a whole first pass. Normally, I'd break this into 2 sessions. But we're rocking
Okay.
it. She's got a trip coming up. She's very tolerant. She's got great skin.
Half the battle.
And so we're doing kind of a double session today. So it's a lot of work.
Nice.
Typically a full-on alopecia head just for the ease of the client, and it just works better to, if I can sometimes break it up into more sessions, but I'd say 6. Like I took 6 on Caden, I believe. I didn't want to push too hard on that.
Yeah. Well, awesome that you're rocking out. You have something coming up? You're traveling, or?
I'm going to Hawaii.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So it'll feel great to be out there with nothing on your head, not feeling like people are thinking, because that is generally, they think you're sick, you know, battling cancer or something.
Exactly. I just don't bother to correct them.
Yeah, yeah. But that's awesome. Just out of curiosity, is this just your general personality as far as taking things head on? No pun intended. But, you know, taking challenges like this and making that, you know, as positive.
Yeah, I'm pretty much like that. Yeah, just jump in and just do things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And especially, like you say, being an esthetician, you are kind of held to different standards. So the fact that you've gone out and found a solution speaks volumes too about what kind of professional you are.
What did you tell me earlier that you say to people about about sugaring?
Oh yeah, because I do more sugar, and I'm like, I don't have any hair, so I'm going to take all of yours too.
That's awesome.
It's a great sense of humor, you know, to have in the face of something like this. So
Yeah. Well, you're a great advocate for it too, you know, as far as, again, taking it into your own hands and making the best out of what you've got. So you're going to rock that look.
Yeah.
And now it's an intentional look.
Right.
Also, you know, this is a choice versus something that's been put upon you.
Exactly.
well, that's, you know, a lot of times people will make comments, well, people should be accepted as they are, and but if you're 23-year-old, you know, some of our younger men, 23 years old, and they're already in Norwood 7, I don't care who you are, they're really not too happy with it.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't for everybody, and I don't think it's a judge of a person's character whether they have hair or not, but for those that don't want to be bald, and, you know, it's an option. It's, you know, I think
Yep.
it's great that we live in a time where we have options. It's not that it's for everyone. So to have her been willing to share her experience, I think it's great, because people with alopecia are, they don't, a lot of them don't know that they have these options, and so I think it's great that she's willing to share her story. As another client that I have that's really fighting for more awareness of different procedures like this that are available to people that are suffering from any of the varieties of alopecia.
Great. Thank you again. We're going to follow your journey and document it.
Okay, I gotta